I used to be the person who had 2 glasses of wine on the weekend and couldn't figure out why I felt like absolute garbage the next morning. Terrible sleep, puffy face, specifically that lovely under the eye situation when you look in the mirror and think, is that aging or did something happen to me overnight? Craving every shitty food I could find when I would drink, energy that was in the toilet, and mood was questionable. And here's the embarrassing part. It took me a long time to put two and two together because it wasn't every night. It was weekends, social stuff, the whatever, why not habit that most of us just slide into without really deciding to. Completely normalized and nobody questions it. It wasn't until I started cutting back, not dramatically, just less often, that I noticed the under eye puffiness I'd been blaming on aging started to clear up. My sleep got measurably better, and I thought, why did no one ever explain this to me? That's what this video is. Let's get into it. So 15 years as a holistic nutritionist, and what that means is that I look at the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, not one piece in isolation. And alcohol, it's one of those topics where the whole picture is almost never discussed because drinking is so normalized that questioning it feels extreme, even when you're just asking basic questions about what it's doing inside your body. This is not about me telling you to stop. That's your call, full stop. This is about giving you the information so that you can make that call with the full picture in front of you, because right now, most people don't have it. To understand why alcohol hits differently in your 40s and beyond, you need a quick picture of what's already shifting hormonally in this decade. For women, the 40s typically bring perimenopause. Estrogen and progesterone start fluctuating significantly. It's not a clean decline, it's chaotic all over the fucking place. Progesterone, your calming, sleep-supporting hormone, drops earlier than estrogen. The whole system is working harder to maintain balance. And for men, testosterone begins a gradual natural decline through the 40s. Cortisol becomes more dominant, insulin sensitivity starts to drop. The hormonal picture is different, but the vulnerability to the disruptors is just as real. Into this already shifting system, you add alcohol on a Friday night, and here's what actually happens. Your liver has to choose. Your liver is responsible for two things that matter enormously here: metabolizing alcohol and clearing used hormones from your body. When alcohol comes in, the liver prioritizes it. Everything else, including hormone clearance, slows down or waits. Used estrogen that should be processed and excreted starts to recirculate. Used cortisol hangs around longer. For women, this contributes to estrogen dominance, heavier periods, worse PMS, bloating, mood swings, breast tenderness, a whole fucking barrel of monkeys of fun. For men, it's impaired estrogen clearance means estrogen levels creep up relative to testosterone, which affects body composition, mood, and energy. One organ, two jobs, and alcohol always jumps the queue. It tanks progesterone and your sleep with it. Progesterone is the calming, sedating hormone. It's what helps your nervous system quiet down at night. Alcohol suppresses that progesterone production. So you already have less of it in your 40s, and then you add something that suppresses it further. This is why you fall asleep fine after a couple of drinks and then wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. completely wired and can't get back to sleep. It's also why the anxiety the day after drinking, sometimes called hangxiety, can feel so disproportionate to the amount that you had. Your progesterone is depleted, your nervous system has lost its off switch. That's not a character flaw, that's chemistry. It also hammers testosterone. For men, this one is direct and significant. Alcohol actively suppresses testosterone production, and the effect is dose dependent. Regular weekend drinking contributes to chronically lower testosterone over time, on top of the natural decline already happening. Lower energy, reduced muscle mass, increased body fat, lower libido, mood that's harder to regulate. For women, testosterone also matters. It affects energy, libido, and mood, and alcohol suppresses it across the board, regardless of gender. It wrecks your blood sugar and makes you crave shit food. Alcohol interferes with your liver's ability to regulate blood sugar overnight. That's why you wake up craving every carb and every piece of garbage food you can when you're drinking. Your blood sugar is dysregulated and your body is screaming for a fast fix. In your 40s, when insulin sensitivity is already declining, this blood sugar chaos makes things worse. More fat storage, more cortisol, more cravings, more of the cycle that makes weight management in this decade feel like a full-time job. And those calories you're drinking, most people genuinely don't account for calories when you're drinking them. 2 glasses of wine is easily 300 calories that your body metabolizes different than food calories. Straight to the liver, and when the liver is busy processing alcohol, fat metabolism is on hold. And this explains why when I was in my 20s and I would drink, I would crave McDonald's the next day. Like nobody's business. And I didn't eat it that often. It shows up on your face. The under eye puffiness, the general facial bloat the morning after, that's inflammation and fluid retention, driven by the alcohol's effect on your kidneys, lymphatic system, and cortisol levels. When I cut back, it was one of the first things that I noticed and one of the last things that I expected, to be honest. I'd been low-key blaming aging for something that was largely a Friday night habit. The difference when I stopped drinking as often was noticeable within days, not weeks. It's one of those things you can't unsee once you've connected the dots. So this year in 2026, I decided I was going to try dry January. And February rolled around and I kept going, and then March, and then it was April before I had a drink. 4 months almost. Crazy. And it was completely unplanned. I did not set out to do that. I just kept feeling better than expected, and there really wasn't a compelling reason to stop. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you it's easier than you think once the habit pattern breaks and your body starts reminding you what it feels like without it. Some people find that surprising. I know I did. I was a, bottle of wine a week kind of gal for quite a while. Because I'm the only one in my house that drinks wine, and it would last the whole week. So it wasn't necessarily every night, but it was an every week thing. So it was very surprising for me when these were the benefits that I received from not drinking. And these days, when I do drink, I try to stop by 7 p.m. It's not a rigid rule by any means. If I'm at a celebration or an event that runs late, obviously that's different, but as a default, if I know that I'm going out for a meal and I want to have a drink, I'll try and have it before 7 p.m. because otherwise I find my sleep is shit. Absolute shit. But as a default, by finishing earlier, it gives my liver a window to do its job before I'm trying to sleep, and it genuinely makes a difference to how I feel the next day. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but if you're going to drink, these things make a real difference to how your body handles it. So eat before you drink. A proper meal with protein, fat, and fiber before drinking slows alcohol absorption, blunts the blood sugar impact, and gives your liver something to work alongside. It also helps stop those cravings for, potato chips and chocolate, or peanut butter parfait if you live in Canada. Do not drink on an empty stomach in your 40s. The hormonal disruption is significantly worse, and you'll feel it proportionally, and the hangover the next day is way worse in your 40s and 50s than in your 20s. Consider the timing. The earlier you finish drinking, the longer your liver has to process alcohol before your body needs to be in deep sleep and hormone repair mode. Like I said, I aim for 7 p.m. to have finished my drink when possible, but even shifting from midnight to 10 p.m. makes a noticeable difference to sleep quality and how you feel the next morning. Hydrate properly. I cannot stress this one enough. Alcohol is a diuretic. It depletes water and electrolytes. And a full glass of water between every drink and a large glass before bed, add electrolytes if you have them. This alone meaningfully reduces how rough the next day feels. Support your liver with food. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, they directly support your liver detoxification. Garlic and onions support glutathione, your liver's primary antioxidant. Beets support bile flow. Eat these the day before, the day of, and especially the day after. Not a cure, but a genuine nutritional support for a liver that's already working really hard. Replenish what the alcohol depletes. So it depletes things like B vitamins, magnesium, and zinc. Those are the main casualties. So eggs, leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, legumes, quality animal protein the day after drinking helps replenish what was lost. Your body will use them and give it the raw materials. Think about frequency more than quantity. In your 40s, it's often the regularity of drinking that does the most hormonal damage because your liver, cortisol, blood sugar, and nutrient stores never get a proper recovery window. The body can handle occasional. It's the constant low-level drip that actually accumulates. Cutting back from every weekend to a few times a month is a significant change for your hormonal system, even if the amount on any given occasion stays the same. The alcohol-free market has genuinely improved. There are non-alcoholic wines, beers, and spirits now that are actually worth drinking, not sad substitutes. They're real options. So if you're looking to reduce without feeling like you're missing out socially, it's worth exploring. Otherwise, kombucha, sparkling water with bitters, a well-made mocktail, your nervous system and your hormones cannot tell the difference between those and an evening with alcohol. The ritual and the social feelings are still there. The cortisol spike at 3 a.m. is not. Alcohol is one of the most normalized things in our culture. Nobody puts it on the list of things that might be contributing to the puffy face, the shitty sleep, the junk food cravings, the weight that won't shift, the anxiety that feels bigger than it should be. But the connection is real. It's specific and it's worth knowing about. I'm not asking you to give it up. Absolutely not. I'm asking you to go in with your eyes open. Drink earlier if you can. Eat before you drink. Hydrate. Notice how you feel when you drink less often. Your face will also probably tell you something pretty quickly. That's what 15 years of looking at the whole person teaches you. It's the small stuff that adds up in both directions. Subscribe for more No BS nutrition advice, and I will see you in the next one.